I'm going to ask each of the panelists to take a couple of minutes to answer or give this question. Based on your experiences, research, and perceptions, what are your thoughts about the core and elective elements of KM?
In my aspect, I learn by doing. And what I've seen in the art of knowledge management is you do knowledge management. In my aspect, in the academic realm, I'm coming to Kent State for the credentials. I'm already doing knowledge management. What it's doing is it's solidifying the mortar in between the foundation of what I've already got. It's filling in all the little cracks and making it pretty airtight. So, as listening to this forum, and the forum that we had at the KM conference over at the Ritz-Carlton this week, to me, my personality and being raised in the military, learn by doing. Show me first, and I'll learn better later because the motivation will be there to learn. Experience what I don't know so I can experience what I should know, and that way it sticks. Edwin Morse, I guess my perspective is along the lines of the doing again. I think the characteristics of the doer of knowledge management has to be based in somewhat of a, I'll go back to the art form, understanding that as a purveyor and a prescriber of KM, there has to be that mindset of stewardship, that you're going to make things better for the organization, wherever you're working, whatever that mission set is, your intent aligns to that. So the stewardship is something that always is if you can throw it against the wall and it's stuck against the mission statement and the vision of the organization, you're good to go. How do you teach that? I'm not a curriculum developer. I work in training. In the Army, we have the philosophy, train like you fight. Well, for this institution trying to develop its own guidelines, I would say go out and see what the fight looks like in KM and engineer it to suit that. My caution is that I would not want to have institutionalized anything to a degree, because once it's institutionalized, then there's a set path. This art form of KM has to be fluid and agile. How much KM is actually in the implementation of the KM program? Could you repeat the question, please? I did.
Based on your experience and knowledge, how do you envision a KM curriculum that has a base that supports the about and the do?
Well, I recently saw a definition for knowledge, and the key word in it was action. So that's all about doing. And if you're gearing up to facilitate learning knowledge management, then the facilitation of the instruction should be geared around doing and implementing. And how do you base that into a curriculum? I say base it off a principle of knowledge management to begin with. When we're doing web design, and I'm talking to that linear thinking individual that likes everything stacked this way, I like to stand them on their head because not everybody looks at it that way. So the curriculum should be a hodgepodge of operational, theory, practice, however those breakouts are going to be worded, to where I can pick and choose what I want and see things the way I like to see them. So it's more catered banquet facility, if you will, a smorgasbord of application and theory and all those practical things, to where it is a present the material to findability is the key word. So however you find it is not the right way, it's just the way you do it. So build the course curriculum to suit a knowledge management professional that does that for a living.